Welcome back to 3 Minute Beer Reviews. Today we are going to be checking out the Lakefront Warmfront Extra Pale Ale. Lakefront Brewery is based out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, where I am from. I am a pretty big fan of the beers of theirs that I've tried. The other beers of theirs that I have had are their IPA. It was the first IPA I actually ever tried. From what I know about IPAs, it tastes pretty darn good. It's pretty standard. Nothing too special. I'm not a big double IPA guy. Check it out if you're ever around in the area where they sell it. The other beer I had was their Whisk Lager, Whisk something. It's their take on a Mexican lager, and I think it's pretty damn good. I think it's more solid than Corona, Modelo, those other types, which I personally enjoy a lot. So I was a big fan of that. So this is my third Lakefront beer. I bought it because I'm a big fan. One of my favorite beers that I've had so far is the Summit Extra Pale Ale, Summit EPA. And so when I was in Minneapolis recently, I was about to buy a 6-pack of that. But instead I saw this and I was like, you know what? I might as well support Milwaukee. It says Extra Pale Ale. If it's something like that, it might be good. It says that it's brewed with Citra and Mosaic hops. And reading descriptions about it basically says that it's supposed to be a warm breeze for winter. Apparently it's pretty unusual to have a winter extra pale ale. So maybe the hops, the Citra, kind of makes up for it, or kind of adds that wintry vibe to make you feel like you're off in a, I don't know, tropical place, or maybe on Lake Michigan at Bradford Beach in the middle of the summer on a 90-degree day, just relaxing. Okay, so let's just go for it. Let's try it out. Workers of the world unite. Pours really nicely. The head's getting a little thick there. All right, I'll stop right there for now. All right, so looking at it, it's honestly a little bit darker than I was expecting. I haven't, I've only had Summit in a can, so I don't really know what it looks like, but it's pretty dark, pretty golden, not like dark, you know what I mean? But I don't know. This is again, just a photo bucket camera, photo booth camera. So you might look a little bit darker than it actually is, but a little hazy. Let's take a smell. So I smell grapefruit right away. That must be the Citra in it. Yeah, it looks, I mean, it's foamy. You can see that, like, I don't know, foam along the edges. Seems like it's relatively carbonated. No, I'm not a big expert on this stuff, so let's take a sip. So the first thing I taste, honestly, this tastes more like a regular pale ale than an extra pale ale. It's definitely light. It'd be a lighter pale ale. You can taste the grapefruity flavor, but it's not super overwhelming. It's not like a really fruity or citrusy beer, but it has that. It's definitely has a citrus element to it, but it's not overwhelming. It definitely has the bite of a pale ale, but it's not super overwhelming either. So, I mean, maybe it's kind of like a weaker pale ale, and they called it an extra pale ale because of that. But it's good. Yeah, it's pretty darn drinkable. I wouldn't say it's the kind of beer that I would drink every day, but I have a 6-pack of it in my fridge, and I'll probably finish it in a couple weeks or a week or two. So yeah, that's my review. I enjoy it. It's paler than most pale ales, but it's not quite an extra pale ale, and it tastes good. It's definitely not a straight up pale ale. It has those citrusy vibes to it. It reminds me, and I don't mean this in a bad way, but it reminds me of like a kind of watered down version, but not without being watery, of that what is it, the Citradelic one IPA that a lot of people like. I don't know who does it, but you know what I'm talking about if you know about IPAs. It kind of reminds me of that, but more of a pale ale vibe to it, and definitely not the overwhelming citrusness. It has a bite. It's drinkable. It's clean. It's good. All right. See.